Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday.
Big Zeus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thursday, February 26th. 2026.
I'm balling through the wall. Power to the people, yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue, that's me. Voices on the block, I'm breaking through, I got the key. I'm in the lobby, yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Signing for the fam, yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service,
good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting on, I bury you inside the booth. Founding father vision, yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags.
I'm the voice of the hood,
trying to come and storm the gates. Balance in my hand, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Prophecy selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Lincoln, MLK, now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus. It's the people's house.
Big Zeus. Let's go.
Powers in the air.
Big Zeus.
Yeah.
We knocking on your door.
Big Zeus.
We wanna hear your song.
Yeah.
Happy Thursday.
Yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People, them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600, got your soul.
Put my portrait on the wall, they stared at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told, I will never ever fold.
Dropping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark.
Red phone ringing, but you don't know who
is on my line.
Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning.
Yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never dies. Spitting for the block. Yeah, buses make them wanna fight.
You're happy not to see dumb Trump on my background, kitty. We figured it out, but you've been rocking with me for a while, so thank you. Time to clap, hey.
Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house.
Good morning.
Powers in the air. Yeah, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door.
It's the people's house.
We wanna hear your song.
Big Zeus.
Big Zeus. Got the game in a scheme. 1600 Pennsylvania running it supreme.
Hey.
Yeah, my drip is on tsunami.
Hey.
Goofy talking spicy.
Wow.
Yeah, he hiding from the posse.
Hey.
Chain hitting VVS is
Like show no Atari,
Ops trying to flex. Now his vibe looking sorry. Yeet.
Oh, that's a little thing we got going on over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show started. We don't got all morning. 1600 Pennsylvania. I did that. You saw me do it, all right? But we got to get things going on this show, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, look at the shirts. Oh, my God.
I can't escape.
Come on, I can't hear you. Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm
You
running
seen that movie?
class.
It's like every week I gotta
take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass, cars in the garage.
The tank's full of gas. I play the game so well, I won't finish.
Good morning, it's so lovely to see all of you, Mr. Incognito. This is how it's supposed to happen. Hey,
The algorithm turn you to a maniac.
I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these stupids on my spreadsheet. Guess what? Benjamin Franklin is my bestie.
And if they
Yours too.
they left me.
All right, seriously, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here it goes.
Say it with my chest.
Here's our favorite part.
Got a lot
All right.
of confidence.
It always gets me. Here it goes.
Call me the master with a new
All right.
way.
I'm going to take off. Here it goes.
Shit.
I'll tell you what,
Uh-huh.
I haven't gone into Zeus's
Well, that's a lie.
Drug test.
Drug
That
test.
shit was radical.
Keep it clean, man.
It was horrible.
Okay.
I'm like, Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh, my God.
It's like deja vu. It's like deja vu.
They never have anything nice to say
It's
about
like
me.
deja vu.
They never do.
It's like deja vu.
All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we're back in the Thunderdome. I'm your host, I'm your pilot, and you know exactly why we are gathered here this lovely Thursday morning. February 26, 2026, actually, right? We got to do the real work that it takes to save this incredible country of ours from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of MAGA demons who we all know are hell-bent on destroying. They're trying to destroy this once upon a time on its way of being a great country, all right? And we do it with shows like this. We get out here, we tell the truth, we shame the devil, and we just confront the misinformation, the disinformation head on as we go into the midterms, because we have to pull the country out of this situation. It's a nasty situation that we've gotten ourselves in. It's a big misinformation bubble, and it's being, blown out of proportion, honestly, by Donald Trump and his supporters, the ones that are still left supporting him, all right? Because I understand there's a lot of fractures, a lot of divisions in the cult, all right? So before I get into what I want to talk about this morning, let me go ahead and take care of some very important housekeeping items. For those of you tuning into this is your first time running across a broadcast like this, Zeus News. This is Zeus News, right? This is Zeus News. I've changed it around. I cleaned the place up a little bit, threw this in the, now it's Zeus News. And what we do is we go through some of the headlines that are out there, and there's just so many to go through. I go through the ones that I feel need to be discussed because, they're the ones that I think will take down all the other ones, but there's other ones that we'll cover too, right? So it's Zeus News, and I'm the host, and I go by the name Zeus, or as some like to say, Triple H. I should have called it Triple H News now that I think about it. I might do that, right? Either way it goes, it doesn't matter. You get me. And the reason that they call me Triple H, because I heard someone just say, why do they call you Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. W's in the chat for Rick. Yes. Make sure you're tapping the screen and sharing the live and showing support whatever way, shape, or form you can, all right? So the first H is because I am honest. I'm the most honest person on social media, hands down. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? I'm the real McCoy, to be quite honest, right? The second H as well, it's because I am humble. I'm the most humble person on social media, I know that I'm not always going to be perfect. I strive to, do the right thing. But for the most part, I don't brand myself as always getting it right and just totally, no, I always leave room for myself to improve. All right. Because I think being humble is actually a sign of strength or not weakness. All right. So that's the second H, humility. And then we have the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, which you all know is the most important H of all of them, really. And it is truly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. you see how I get upset? All right. And so what I've said is, what I do is I used to talk to Trump voters on this show quite a bit, but I understand right now they are dealing with a lot of incoming. They're dealing with a lot of incoming. They really are just getting taken to task right now because they are starting to realize that not just myself, but a lot of real honest Americans out there, we've been right about who their daddy was, who their daddy is, their dear leader. Yeah, they are now starting to come into the understanding, ladies and gentlemen, that Donald Trump is truly, as I have been saying for years, a MAGA demon, worthy of hell. He's hellbound, unless he repents. And I don't know how he can do it at this point because he's so deep in it. There's absolutely no way he can make it out of this. All right. And every one of you who still worships him, you're going straight to hell with him. And I make sure you understand that by using tools on this show. Lake of Fire, right? Lake of Fire. You all like the Lake of Fire. I'll bring you up here. This is how it works. I got to be transparent. I'll bring every single Trump voter up here. And we'll go through some of this content together. It's undisputed, right? It's undisputed content. It's 100% facts. It's like we're all sitting in the same class together, and it's test time. If you fail the test, and you know what I say, if you lie, you must fry. And so that's how you end up getting sent straight to hell on the show. All right. And so with that being said, I must say this. If there's anybody out there, honestly, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. I usually aim it towards MAGA. All right. Because MAGA, they tend to be the fragile bunch. But honestly, if shows like this are too difficult for you, I get it. I would leave right now. I would leave because what happens is I know that the right likes to brand themselves as alphas and they're very strong. And then they try to paint Democrats out like me. They try to paint me to look like I'm an out of control, emotionally unhinged individual. Oh no, not me. I'm in control of my emotions. Nothing you say, MAGA, rattles me. I'm very sure of myself, right? But I understand a lot of people don't have the patience that I have. So I say, listen, if it gets too sensitive or if it gets too deep for you in here, you know what? I understand if you just need to take a break, but I don't let what people in the comments say. I don't let what they say get to me, because every single time I'm on message and I'm just hitting it out of the park. Not like that. Not like that. Keep it clean. Keep it clean. I saw what they did when I said that. When I start hitting it out of the park, so to speak, they'll start, the demon inside of them will start saying things and bringing things in. It gets racist. It gets real racist in the comments when I start getting on fire. Yeah. It gets real misogynist when I'm on fire and I'm cooking. That's the demon inside of them. Just keep saying what you were saying, though, ladies and gentlemen, because they are going to have an out-of-body experience when you stay on message, all right? And so with that being said, I'll say this. If there's any Trump supporters out there that have a problem with my broadcast, and actually anybody, really, do me a favor and leave this show right now, because I promise you, I've been hitting it. I've been doing it so well on this. I've been doing it for years. I will make you uncomfortable. All right. I seriously will. But get this. You don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave. If you're not happy in the U.S., if you're complaining all the time, very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now. Come back if you want. Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed, and I take no responsibility for people's feelings that might be hurt. But I do have to say this. We don't bring other people's drama into this show, because the only person that brings drama into this show is Big Zeus. I saw that yesterday. I saw live yesterday. In a Blagga space yesterday, I saw it, and I just said to myself, you know what? Some folks just got to learn. Some folks just got to burn. Some folks just got to burn. Because, there's an old saying, be careful what you ask for. And I'm firmly convinced, ladies and gentlemen, that when this whole Trump thing comes crashing down, and it's on its way of crashing down, Blagga, y'all gonna have a whole lot of explaining to do. I don't know why you would ruin your reputation for Donald Trump. If you're going to ruin your reputation, find somebody out there that's actually, you know what, I understand why you did it. But Donald Trump, please give me a break. And that's a huge W, Zeus. This morning, I'm going to start off with a message from, MAGA, one of the old MAGA faithfuls, Marjorie. How many of you know who Marjorie Taylor Greene is? I'm going to get into this Epstein situation because I'm going to talk about it. But I'm going to give MAGA a quick message, all right? Marjorie Taylor Greene this morning posted something. And I said, okay, we got to go over this together, because some of it's true, some of it's not. Some of it's true, some of it's not. Here you go. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll read it. She says, good morning. Everything in Washington will be purely performative for the remainder of the year to gaslight you to vote in the midterm. She's talking about MAGA in particular. We all knew and discussed in internal meetings back in January of 2025 that we only had 6 to 9 months to do anything serious. And after the third quarter of 2025, our opportunity would be gone, because courage would fade and campaign mode would kick in. And all of that was really accomplished. Was an extension of the tax law with a few additions. No accountability for C-19, no accountability for the 4 years of lawfare, no accountability for 2020 election, no accountability for the Epstein files. Not only is there nothing tangible in terms of accountability, but Republicans have done nothing to make health insurance affordable and hide from the issues like the P3DOs and the E-files. Meanwhile, we're on the verge of war with Iran from the, quote, no more foreign wars president. This is where you are now. The red meat throwing, tough talk, and legislation that will go nowhere phase, but will only create some vile media posts and headlines to try to inspire you and scare you into voting for Republicans again in the midterms. Now, this is where Marjorie loses her mind, but I'll read it because I got to be transparent. This is the part you should just ignore. And the Democrats are no better. After getting brutally beaten in 2024, they learned nothing and made no serious changes to their policy platform on the issues they lost. The biggest, as they continue to put illegals and trans first, while suddenly starting in 2025 caring about the Epstein files. It's all America last from both sides of the never-ending political industrial complex. So that's Marjorie Taylor Greene, ladies and gentlemen. Basically, you know what I'm saying? You can't trust these people, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. There you go. You can't trust these people, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't. All right, hold on. Oh, there you go. There we go. Okay, what on earth just happened? Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. What is this, ladies and gentlemen? What happened to my settings? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. All right, hold on. Bear with me. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know what happened just now, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, my camera just basically went to my camera just went. Wow. You see what happened? Ladies and gentlemen? So what we'll do is try to fix this up, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Let's see. There we go. I could fix it, I guess. I don't know. I could try to fix it, but I don't know what that happened is. But, ladies and gentlemen, one thing's for sure, two things is for certain. While we're trying to get this thing straightened out, oh my gosh. Yeah, that is so weird. I see it. Oh my gosh. You think that's funny, Asler? You think that's funny? Yeah, apply. There you go. Oh my gosh. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, sometimes you just end up with technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. I have no clue. I have really no clue what's going on. But you know what I'll do, ladies and gentlemen? We'll just do it. We'll rock it like this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll rock it like this, W Zeus. We'll rock it like this. Yeah. Normally you got these different settings or whatever, but for some strange reason I don't know what happened. It's not letting me do what I want to do. Nope. Unlock. There you go. We're gonna hit unlock display capture. Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but you know what? I got to move on because we got an abbreviated show, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'll do is this. I want to go ahead and warm the lake of fire up, and this is for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, unfortunately, you made your bed and you got to lay in it. No one buys what you're selling. This is a mess that you have created, and none of us are going to endorse it. But I do appreciate the fact that you are calling Donald Trump out and his MAGA Republicans because they have done the unimaginable. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. I have no choice but to do it. And sending Marjorie, she broke my computer. Now that I think about it, she broke my computer. Marjorie, this is some sick. This is MAGA demon behavior. Join me in sending her straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right. Moving on to my next topic, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to get through it as much as possible. I just want to say this is the anniversary, 1 year anniversary, ladies and gentlemen, of when these remember when these influencers got these Epstein file binders? Remember that? This is the 1 year anniversary, I guess. And so just look at them. A bunch of lowlifes. How would y'all think about this, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all let Donald Trump really, and you got anybody who's following these people, you should honestly, if you know who these people are, I don't know who these people are, but yeah, look at them. They look like a bunch of fools, a bunch of clowns. If you follow any of these so-called right-wing, and I've heard about this new influencer that's working in the White House, they just uncovered his account on X. If you are following anyone on the right that is still supporting Donald Trump, PSA announcements, unfollow them now. They are not being honest with you. They are also part of the cover-up. That's a huge W, Zeus, right? All right, let me get back. All right, so, but honestly, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say this. Join me in once again warming up the lake of fire. And this is for all of you out there who fell for the whole Epstein thing, right? And you're not following what's happening right now. In case you didn't know, your daddy is in there, and we'll talk about it in short order. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. You think he's the best? You think he's the best? You all think, okay, well, let's go ahead and send these demons straight to hell. It's so easy to do. It's so easy to do.
MAGA Damon.
All right, so what's next on our list, ladies and gentlemen? W's in the chat. Rick, thank you. We're rocking with it. Many of you know this is already happening today, but we'll go ahead and do it. Yes, James Comer and the House Oversight, they will be meeting with they'll be meeting with Hillary Clinton today, and I believe it's Bill Clinton tomorrow to discuss their involvement with Jeffrey Epstein.
House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer. Great to see you today. All right, lay this out for me. I mentioned, the back and forth to get them there, and now you've got them. What happens next?
Yeah, well, finally, they're going to have to sit and answer questions under oath to Congress about their knowledge and involvement with the Epstein criminal activity, as well as with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was the primary co-conspirator, the one who was responsible more than anyone for luring the girls into Jeffrey Epstein's world. So one of the questions that we all have in both parties is, how was Jeffrey Epstein able to surround himself with the most powerful people in the world? If you saw Hillary Clinton's interview a few days ago, she acted like they barely knew Epstein and Maxwell. Well, that's funny, because Epstein was in the White House 16 times while Bill Clinton was president, and then Bill Clinton flew on his plane 27 times post-presidency, as well as Ghislaine Maxwell had a front row seat at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. So, no one's accusing the Clintons of wrongdoing, but we have a lot of questions, because there's a suspicion that Epstein was either an asset for the U.S. government, or he was a spy, or even a double or triple agent. We're concerned from a national security standpoint. Was Epstein trading secrets with other governments? Was he trading secrets to be able to lure the most powerful and richest men in the world to his properties around the world? Just a lot of questions, and hopefully the Clintons will answer our questions, and we can take this information and move forward with the investigation.
All right. So let me go back to what I was, let me see if we can get back there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So you all see what's happening right now, right? The wagons are circling, so to speak, ladies and gentlemen. The wagons are circling, all right? And I just want to say this. Does anyone have a problem? Does anyone have a problem with us going after Bill Clinton? I don't. Or a Democrat. Does anyone out there have a problem with us going after the Democrats? No. All right, so W to the chat. I don't know. I don't have a problem. And so I just want to shut MAGA down and say, this is not going to backfire on the Democrats at all. My position has remained the same. If you lie, you must fry. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. So stop saying that in the chat. It's not going to backfire. It's going to backfire on you. See, now I'm getting a little upset, MAGA. Now I'm getting a little upset. Because you think it's going to backfire. Huh. Fine. You begged me. W Little Hawk. Should we show MAGA, ladies and gentlemen? Should we show MAGA how this is going to backfire on them? I wasn't going to do it. Should we show MAGA how this is going to backfire on them? Does anyone want to see MAGA? Yeah. Y'all want me to show you? Okay. All right. You begged me. All right. Asler, pay attention. I know you don't understand English that well, so make sure you're focused and listening to every single word being said right now. And you know who this is going to come from? This is going to come from our good friend, guess who? A crowd favorite, Lawrence O'Donnell. Thank you, everyone. Let's listen to Lawrence O'Donnell explain in 4K, some say 12K, on how this is going to backfire on every single Trump supporter on the face of the earth.
Of the Epstein files, Donald Trump's Justice Department was adding to the Epstein files by creating new documents that could conveniently summarize accusations against Donald Trump and Prince Andrew and Les Wexner and other prominent names. That was the heading of an FBI PowerPoint, according to NPR, prominent names. And the most prominent of those names was the first name identified by that PowerPoint, Trump. And the first item in that PowerPoint is what Congressman Garcia is demanding more information about. NPR reports that the item says...
Hold on. Hold on.
To resign the presidency.
I want you to watch this
approval
part.
rating in polls going into his State of the Union address last night was identical to Richard Nixon's disapproval rating polls before Nixon's last State of the Union address, which occurred just months after the White House counsel testified to Congress describing Nixon's participation in crimes that he committed in the Oval Office. Dame. And 6 months after Richard Nixon's 1974 State of the Union address, he was forced to resign the presidency and accept a pardon from his Vice President Gerald Ford after Ford took the oath of office as president and announced to the country, quote, "Our long national nightmare is over."
Our long national nightmare is over. These are words eerie to what happened with Richard Nixon. It's happening. Donald Trump's poll numbers are looking like Richard Nixon's poll numbers. MAGA, right before the boom was lowered. Remember, you wanted this to backfire on the Democrats, but it's backfiring on you.
Our 21st century long national nightmare has turned into Donald Trump's worst nightmare tonight, after 2 days of stunning news reports that began with freelance journalist Roger Sullenberger and now include the reporting of this network and the New York Times about documents that have been withheld from Congress in violation of the law, documents that relate to criminal conduct by Donald Trump that includes the rape of a child.
Hey. Did you catch that? Did you catch that, MAGA? Your daddy has information in the DOJ about him doing things the Bible even says he shouldn't do. And it's criminal, and it isn't being released. How is this backfiring on the Democrats? Oh, yeah, Donald Trump used to be a Democrat.
In violation of the law, documents that relate to criminal conduct by Donald Trump that includes the rape of a child, the possible rape of a child. And that has led Congressman Robert Garcia, the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, to ask the Attorney General of the United States a simple question, to ask if the president is under investigation for assault and sexual abuse of a child. Congressman Garcia put the question in writing to the Attorney General today with a first sentence unlike any ever written about.
Hey, Dame, this is actually happening, right? This is how things in America work. You put it in black and white because, you know, they say the pen's mightier than the sword. Don't pay attention to the headlines. Look at what's happening from a legal lens. They put these words in black and white, MAGA. This isn't a game anymore.
President of the United States, quote, "I write concerning the alarming revelation that the Department of Justice is withholding materials in the Epstein files relating to alleged sexual abuse of a minor by Donald Trump."
Tell me you're about to have the worst presidency of your life without saying you're about to have the worst presidency of your life. Now, a lot of us on the left, this where y'all at right now, we've been there. We've been here. When you layer it with the things that Donald Trump said. Remember when I used to play this to MAGA?
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
See, I'd have kicked him off the show right there. I'd have called 911. I'd have called the FBI and the DOJ as soon as he made a remark like that. It's not funny now, is it?
Congressman Garcia's letter describes the alarming revelation this way. Quote, "This week, Roger Sullenberger and NPR each reported that DOJ has withheld more than 50 pages of interviews conducted by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, as well as notes from conversations with the woman who accused Trump of sexually assaulting her as a minor."
Any questions? Read it. Ladybug, read this. This is black and white, Ladybug. This isn't Big Zeus's words, Angus. This is the letter of the law. This is look at the letterhead, Congress of the United States, House of Representatives, directed to Pam Bondi, February 25th. This is legal tender. This, Gregory Jones, you got a problem with people putting requests in writing for legal accountability? This is how America's works. This is how you get money and awards. This is how you get justice in America. You put it in black and white. It goes through the judicial system, and the outcome becomes what you have to live by. This is the law. Actually, you're seeing what it looks like when you have law and order in a way. So you can't argue with Zeus. This really is happening.
Recently reviewing unredacted files at DOJ, I was also able to independently confirm that the department has, in fact, been withholding FBI interviews with a survivor who accused Trump of sexual abuse and violence.
Oh, imagine you were one of these people that lied to yourself and said Katie Johnson was fake. Imagine you were one of these people that let Donald Trump talk about going behind, going into the beauty pageant and inspecting the product. You gave him an excuse every single time. But now, who are you arguing with? You're not arguing with the Democrats. You're arguing with the law. I didn't make this stuff up. Whose name is this accuser calling their abuser? Who is the accuser saying the abuser is, ladies and gentlemen? Because I know MAGA is crashing out in my live right now. Whose name, ladies and gentlemen, is this accuser or survivor saying did the abuse? All right, everyone, can we please put it in the chat? Donald Trump. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. All right, so Angus, you Russian bears. Dame. This is not even nothing to debate. Let's debate about. No, I don't want to debate this. I want you to actually look at this.
The Epstein materials further show that the FBI took these allegations seriously, forwarding them to the FBI's headquarters in Washington, D.C., and interviewing the victim 4 times.
How many times, ladies and gentlemen, did the FBI interview the survivor, the victim? Could you please help MAGA understand? Because this is going to be an open book test. How many times? 4. Thank you. And I'm just going to say this. The FBI isn't showing up 4 times over allegations. They don't do that. They got other things to do. 4 times. Y'all still think this is a game, MAGA? Y'all still out here playing and defending this man. Anybody that tells me they a man and they protect women and stuff like that, and you're still supporting Donald Trump, you ain't nothing but a liar.
Suspiciously, only the first interview, which does not detail the allegations against President Trump, remains in DOJ's public database. Internal DOJ documents, which I have personally viewed unredacted, make it clear that the survivor made additional specific allegations against President Trump, which are not reflected in the records of the first published interview.
Why would the DOJ not include these records that were about Trump in their disclosure to the American people, MAGA? They interviewed them. They interviewed this survivor 4 times. Why would they leave out these ones? I promise you, MAGA, you cannot come up with a lie that anybody with a brain will believe. There's no lie on the face of the earth, MAGA, you could come up with to help to convince everybody else that already knows what's going on as to why they left those files out. We know why they left them out.
Reporting by Roger Sullenberger and NPR support this conclusion. In response to these disturbing revelations, DOJ refused to address the specific reasons for the withholding of these materials, noting only that it is suppressing documents that are duplicates, privileged, or part of an ongoing federal investigation.
Which one is it? Are they duplicates? Nope. If they're privileged, why would these files be privileged that are about Donald Trump? That's not a good option either. And then we get to the last one, investigation. Think about that. You mean to tell me the DOJ that last year told us there were no more investigations? they might be investigating files that involve Donald Trump. So that would mean, if I was a thinking person, there's a good chance the president of the United States is under investigation for what this survivor said. That's probably why the files are missing. Duh.
If DOJ is actively investigating allegations of sexual abuse leveled against President Trump by an Epstein survivor, Congress and the American people have a right to know immediately. DOJ must specify the exact grounds for the withholding of FBI interviews containing specific allegations against President Trump, as well as provide an update on the status of any ongoing investigations into allegations of sexual assault against President Trump. While Congressman Ro Khanna was trying to convince members of Congress to force a vote on the release of the Epstein files, Donald Trump's Justice Department was adding to the Epstein files by creating new documents that could conveniently summarize accusations against Donald Trump and Prince Andrew and Les Wexner and other prominent names. That was the heading of an FBI PowerPoint, according to NPR, prominent names. And the most prominent of those names was the first name identified by that PowerPoint, Trump.
Boom. Boom. Everybody that was a prominent name is guilty except Trump, MAGA. You can't be. How you going to still defend this man, MAGA? You know this is what he said about you.
You're either stupid or you hate the country.
He said that about you, knowing you would still rush to defend him. Despite all this evidence, despite all this information just slapping you all up across your faces. You see what he is. And you're going to throw away your reputations for this man. Y'all some sick folks.
And the first item in that PowerPoint is what Congressman Garcia is demanding more information about. NPR reports that the item says, quote, redacted stated Epstein introduced her to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down to his exposed penis.
Whoa, gotta keep it clean on TikTok, but you can read this, MAGA. Where's the hoax in this? Where's the Democrat hoax in any of this? Remember, the FBI went and talked to her 4 times. Y'all still want to sit here and pretend like this is a game.
Which she subsequently bit. In response, Trump punched her in the head and kicked her out.
This is in black and white. This is what the DOJ has gotten in writing from Congress. 2 government agencies going at each other about credible evidence, obviously, because the FBI went to see her 4 times. And you want to sit here on TikTok and say, if there's anything, I need to see some evidence. This is about as pure as evidence you're going to see outside of actually seeing the footage. So you don't need more evidence. You got it. The problem is you don't want to admit you are wrong. And this is the problem in America right now. We got a bunch of fake Christians out there that do not want to admit that they are wrong. They do not want to admit that they have been lied to and duped by Donald Trump because they've invested so much of their existence into him. Y'all ain't nothing but a bunch of sick individuals.
The FBI notes at that time that the girl, quote, according to the FBI notes, quote, would have been 13 to 15 years old. Donald Trump has not been charged and denies all wrongdoing in relation to the Epstein investigation, but he has not denied this particular item because he has not been confronted with this particular item. We await his response to this item.
And that goes to the larger question. Why won't Donald Trump sue anybody for making up stuff about him like this? Why won't he drop a diss track? Why won't he? You know why he won't do it? Because they're going to open up everything. He don't want to take the lid off of everything and have you really finding out, MAGA. Oh, but y'all want to go get the Democrats. Newsflash, Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. Think about that.
Trump himself, not White House spokespeople who know nothing about it, who spew their nonsense every time they are approached for a comment. Let's hear from Donald Trump about that one. There is a behavioral echo in the violence of that unproven accusation, and it comes from the first person to publicly accuse Donald Trump of rape. Which was his first wife.
Lawrence, you didn't went and got some more dirt on Donald Trump now? We didn't just hit him with everything. Is there more? You got more, Lawrence? Okay, fair enough. Let's do it. Hey, remember MAGA in my chat this morning? They said this is going to backfire on the Democrats. Is this backfiring on the Democrats, ladies and gentlemen, or is this backfiring on MAGA?
According to the 1993 book Lost Tycoon by Harry Hurt, Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, accused him of rape while they were still married.
Wow.
When the Daily Beast revived that accusation in reporting during Donald Trump's first presidential campaign in 2015, it provoked the memorable idiocy of Donald Trump's lawyer at the time, Michael Cohen, saying, quote, "You cannot rape your spouse."
Now, Michael Cohen, you know that's not true. But when you possess with that MAGA demon, you will say things like that. I see it. I know what happened. You were fully in it. But that's not true. You can do that. And let me clear that up for all you so-called men out there. You can rape your wives. That's not something you can say when you go inside of the courtroom. I didn't do anything. That's my wife. No, see, that's how the devil lies to you. It makes you think you're getting away with stuff that's wrong, bad behavior. Don't listen to that. But think about where we're at, though. What type of relationship is a man in when it escalates to the place where your wife goes forward and makes this kind of claim?
Which, of course, is not true. In 2015, the Daily Beast summarized the account by Harry Hurt, which was based on a deposition this way. After a painful scalp reduction surgery to remove a bald spot, Donald Trump confronted his then wife, who had previously used the same plastic surgeon. "Your effing doctor has ruined me," Trump cried. What followed was a violent assault, according to Lost Tycoon. Donald held back Ivana's arms and began to pull out fistfuls of hair from her scalp as if to mirror the pain he felt from his own operation. He tore off her clothes and unzipped his pants. According to versions she repeats to some of her closest confidants, he raped.
Whoa, gotta keep it clean on TikTok, but you can read it. MAGA. This is from the wife. Okay? You can't say she's just trying to get some money out of him like you try to say the victims is. This is his wife. She already got the bag. What's the issue? Why would she do this? Why would a wife go this far? And now, when you look at all the stuff that's happening, why would a survivor go all the way to the FBI and they got similar stories? And y'all want to sit here and defend this stuff? I respect a lot of people on the right. I know of a lot of folks on the right. Once they seen enough of this, they said, "I'm done with Donald Trump." They shut their app down. They don't even do any more content. I've seen it happen. But we got some folks out there that's still quick to rush up and defend this. Okay, hard head makes what's soft. You know what?
The book includes a statement by Ivana Trump, which was inserted by the publisher at the very last minute, saying, "During a deposition given by me in connection with my matrimonial case, I stated that my husband had raped me. I referred to this as a rape, but I do not want my words to be interpreted in a literal or criminal sense." That deposition was, of course, given under oath at the time. And I presented all of that here on this program in 2015. And by that time, Ivana Trump, who had reached a divorce settlement, financial settlement with Donald Trump, said, quote, "I have recently read some comments attributed to me from nearly 30 years ago at a time of very high tension during my divorce from Donald. The story is totally without merit. Donald and I are the best of friends and together have raised 3 children that we love and are very proud of. I have nothing but fondness for Donald and wish him the best of luck in his campaign. Incidentally, I think he would make an incredible president." At the time, Donald Trump denied the accusations.
Of course.
With these words, saying, quote, "It's totally false, and Ivana said it was false. You can't do better than that."
Guilty.
No lead is off limits. Those are the immortal words of Donald Trump's favorite lawyer, Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer, who managed to get him 34 guilty verdicts in a Manhattan courtroom where Donald Trump was convicted of business fraud.
Get him.
Is now Donald Trump's deputy attorney general, the number 2 at the Trump Justice Department, which is really the Trump Protection Department. No lead is off limits. Those are the words, the exact words that Todd Blanche used to justify going to Florida to interview Donald Trump's old friend, the convicted sex trafficker, Ghislaine Maxwell. Todd Blanche conducted an interview that was filled with perjury from start to finish. Todd Blanche demonstrated his complete ignorance of the Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell sex trafficking conspiracy in that interview. And Ghislaine Maxwell was allowed to tell any lie to Todd Blanche that she felt like telling him, including that she was never aware of any criminal conduct on the part of Jeffrey Epstein. No lead is off limits. That was Todd Blanche's justification for the travesty of justice that he conducted in Florida with Ghislaine Maxwell, designed only to find out if Ghislaine Maxwell would say anything harmful to Donald Trump. And of course she didn't, because she knows Donald Trump can pardon her. And Donald Trump has repeatedly considered pardoning her, publicly considers pardoning her.
Yep.
So what is Todd Blanche doing with the lead that is the first item in the prominent names list in the Epstein files?
So, MAGA, let me explain what's happening, because I know that went right over your head. They visited this survivor 4 times, and something she said that we already see was used to help convict Ghislaine Maxwell. So that means it's clearly credible. All right, this is where we are at now. So the question remains, MAGA, where is the missing information that she said about your daddy?
What is Todd Blanche doing with this lead tonight? Redacted stated Epstein introduced her to Trump, who subsequently forced her head down to...
I see, you can't say it on TikTok, but read it again. If she said it and it got Ghislaine Maxwell convicted, then why are we holding up with Donald Trump, MAGA? Can't have it both ways.
Exposed penis, which she subsequently bit. In response, Trump punched her in the head.
Sick.
And kicked her out.
Doing that to a child.
No lead is off limits. That is a lead. That is not proof, but that is a lead. That is where investigations begin.
And see, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I believe you all get the gist of what we're doing with, because, you know, it's going to be an abbreviated show, okay? And but MAGA, remember when I asked you, because you could go check out the rest of the show, but remember when I asked you, I said, you want me to explain how this is going to backfire on you? Fine. Fair enough. Fair enough, MAGA. I'll explain how this is going to backfire on you. Unfortunately, you're going to see something that's going to rock you to the core as time continues to progress, because we see his poll numbers are tanking and everyone's turning on Donald Trump except you, because we know what you stand for now. You've made it crystal clear. You're the guardian of P3dios. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. You have all the information you need, MAGA, to confirm that your daddy is disgusting, sick, vile creature. Yeah, he has not been convicted yet, but you see the evidence. But you won't use this because guess what? You're in a cult. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending these guardians of P3dios where they truly, truly belong, straight to hell. I'm surprised. It's coming.
Silence, you MAGA Damon.
And that's a huge... Thank you, Kabira. Thank you. Thank you. You all make it possible. You really do. Yes, thank you. W's in the chat for Rick too. Do you see how MAGA is crashing out, ladies and gentlemen? Do you see how they're crashing out this morning? They are literally sitting there saying to themselves, how can we spin this? You can't spin it. And like I said, I don't care if you go after Bill Clinton, any other Democrat, because all you're doing is proving my point. Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. Yeah, if I was him and I was trying to cover up, I'd switch it up and be a Republican and get a bunch of you red hat wearing knucklehead, knuckle draggers to worship me, because he knows you're not that bright, right? That's a huge W, Zeus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we got a few minutes. Let me see. I want to bring up a couple of folks, and then I got to get up out of here. All right, I got a few minutes. All right, SZ, come on up here real quick. What do you got for us? All right, good morning.
Good morning, Zeus. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, and you?
I'm tired, to be honest. I'm cooking breakfast for the wife.
Okay, good.
And unfortunately, these MAGA hats don't understand or can't understand what it is fervent to know or understand. Communication is key to a happy marriage.
Yeah.
Or to any relationship.
Yeah.
Because this thing about the male lonely epidemic that they have, it needs to get worse. They need to understand what it is. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Because apparently, during that god awful State of the Union speech, I mean, the man did not have the gall to acknowledge the survivors, or to acknowledge that to any woman who's been or has gone through.
So let me
any
ask you
type of
this
abuse.
then: what does it say, in your opinion? Right? We're all adults, but what does it say to you as an adult when the president of the United States, this one, remember when he was debating Hillary Clinton and he brought the women there? Remember that stunt he did? And you lay in the, when you play in the pigs, you play in the mud, you play with the pigs or something like that, right? He decided to make it a muddy situation. All right. What does it say to you when the president of the United States of America, he won't sign the Epstein Files Transparency Act on national television? He's hiding from the survivors. They bring him to the State of the Union and he doesn't even acknowledge them. What does that say to you? What kind of message do you think he is sending?
Zeus, I've always said this. If it quacks like a duck, has feathers like a duck, and walks like a duck, what is it?
It's a duck.
Exactly. So if he ain't doing all those things and he's on that list, allegedly mentioned 38,000 times, even worse, they say that it's 100,000 times, and there's already an allegation that was phoned in that the FBI did not investigate, and that you have pictures and all you maggots that come out here and say, I need evidence. That's weird.
Yeah.
That is weird. So what is it? It's a goddamn duck. He's on the list. He is a even adjudicated rapist that the jury had done. So you know what? I've noticed, and I've always said it, especially when it comes to my coworkers who, like I said, I'm in law enforcement.
Yeah.
And I'm a sheriff deputy, and I always look at them and I always tell myself, you voted for a pedo in office. You voted a pedo in office, and as law enforcement, we've always said we want to protect the children. But you know what? Because of this type of ideology that they have, I wouldn't trust them.
Wow.
Now it makes me question because now I don't want to go in a rabbit hole, but now it questions the whole justice system in itself. Because now you look at all the reports about the abuse that's in the prison system. You see currently in ICE, the detention systems where they've actually had put teenagers in a separate purview, under the same private company that has had allegations against them.
Yeah.
For sexual abuse. Sexual abuse. So again, If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, has feathers like a duck, it's a goddamn duck.
All right.
There's no questions about it.
Thank you. So because I'm going to move on, but just to ask you on a personal level, and your opinion is your opinion, do you have enough evidence personally to conclude that Donald Trump may have committed crimes with children?
The amount of evidence, especially what I've talked to lawyers and some of them.
Yeah.
Again, I have to say allegedly.
Yeah.
There's enough evidence to persecute an individual, and there's enough evidence to persecute him.
Yeah.
Again, if nobody can see that, then you know what? You are. If no one can see the amount of evidence, then you're just complicit and trying to normalize, and you just want to be able to say, I want to marry young women and be able to sexually abuse them.
Thank you.
Just admit it. Just admit it.
Just admit it. All right, SZ, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
No problem.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, love you, Zeus.
All right,
Have
love
a
you,
good
bro.
one.
Peace. The evidence is just overwhelming. And I've never seen it laid out like that. I mean, because we all pick up these moments in fragments because you're watching this, you're hearing that, you're seeing this. It's a lot. It's very overwhelming. So cold. Thank you. All right. Good morning. Who do we have here? Please vote 26. Good morning. How are you?
I'm going to be honest. Good morning. I didn't mean to come up here. I tapped because I've been tapping and writing. But I want to say the way that you laid that out was perfect. And by the way, I love Lawrence O'Donnell. I was watching that last night.
Okay.
And you know what else is funny? This is another thing that I find very funny.
Yeah.
Remember when they released the last part of the files, they said there's 3 million more documents where we're not releasing them. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, why? Didn't he run on releasing them?
Yeah.
He's been doing nothing but hiding, trying to block releasing them. He's even sent his own personal attorney, who is now the deputy attorney general, to speak with Ghislaine Maxwell in prison and had her moved to a lower security prison because he wants her to feel comfortable so that he can keep her mouth shut so that he can partner when the time is right. Because he's going
So
to
you
do
see it for what it is. You see it for what it is.
Exactly for what it is.
Oh, go ahead. Please vote.
And that's all I wanted to say. MAGA, it's time for y'all to wake up. Daddy's bad.
Thank you. Please.
Orange man bad.
Thank you. Now, you're going to tell people to vote too, right? I'm assuming that's why you got that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go ahead and tell them.
Definitely. Let me just say this to you.
Yeah.
Now, before you vote, MAGA and everybody in this chat, look deep before you leap. I mean, investigate the person. Just because they sound great don't mean they deserve your vote.
Amen. Especially if you're in the state of Texas right now. Get on out there and vote for the candidate you believe represents you the best. And like you said, dig deep before you leap. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. All righty then. All right. But listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Boom. I'm on time. I want to give all of you a huge round of applause. Seriously, I'll do the full show tomorrow, but Thursdays tend to be the abbreviated days. Thank you to every single one of you who tuned in this morning to listen to this bombshell revelation from Lawrence O'Donnell and honestly myself, basically connecting the dots for you to help you understand anyone defending Donald Trump at this point, they're complicit. End of the story. All right. Seriously. Thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Honestly, because without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and very, very important, honestly. All right. But on a serious note, I got to give one last round of booze and shame. And you know exactly who this goes out to, ladies and gentlemen. This goes out to every single one of the Zeus haters. Those of you who are still worshiping Donald Trump and supporting Jeffrey, do us all a huge favor and go straight to hell. I got to do it. All right. I apologize for the technical difficulties. All right, but you all deserve a huge round of applause. Take care, stay safe, and have a great rest of your morning. We are out of here. Whatever. Sing the song, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, thank you. Yes. That ain't right. Yeah, remember Biden did this? Remember he did this to MAGA? Where we begin? What about Biden? Gas prices sky, inflation, wow. Economy dying, can't feed your child. Remember that? Remember Biden did all this MAGA? 13 soldiers gone. W. Marissa, thank you so much. It's a sad song if you ask me. Sing the song with us, ladies and gentlemen.
Call him Sleepy Joe, cognitive decline. Everybody knows stumbling words, can't finish a sentence. Puppet on strings, who pulling the leverage?
Hunter's laptop.
Bullets of deals, trying to cash flow, million concealed. Family getting pain, influence pedal. While we out here struggling, pockets unsettled. Weaponized OJ, FBI raids. Mar-a-Lago storm, but Hunter gets praised. January 6th, locking up brands, but Joe's pacified docs in his garage, man. Keystone cancel, energy weak. Depending on foes, gas $4 a week. Crime in the cities, soft on the streets, defund the police. Chaos.
What about Biden? Thank you, everyone. Come on. Please cry a little bit more, ladies and gentlemen. This brother put his soul into this song. I almost pulled him out of the studio. No, that's too much. Gas prices. Economy dying, can't feed your child. Thank you. Come on, everyone. Let's sing this part together. 13 soldiers gone. Joe acting blind. Biden, Joe Biden.
Yeah, what about Biden? Yeah, what about Biden?
Ask yourself, what about him? Remember Joe Biden? Yeah. 13. I really do get emotional. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta get up out of here, but thank you so much for tuning in this morning.